I about had a heart attack earlier. I guess it was yesterday, because I hear Shannon in the other room, and he's talking to a client, or he's talking to somebody, and he's like, I can't make a living at 5% gross profit. I'm not charging you MSRP. I'm here to make a profit, and I'm not doing it for 5% MSRP. 5%, which is MSRP.
Yeah.
And like he's getting heated, and he's like raising his voice, and he's yelling and all. I'm like my chair's getting sucked up into my rear end. I'm nervous, right? I'm tore up about this.
Hey, a huge thank you goes to Shop-Ware for sponsoring this video. In my opinion, they are the absolute best shop management system. Lucas and I both use it at our shops, and we believe it allows us to provide our customers with a unique experience unlike anything on the market right now. If you want to see what we mean, click on the link in the description below and schedule a demo today. And now, onto the video.
And so, long story short, I'm going through this whole deal, and I'm listening to what he's saying, and finally I walk in and I realize he's on the phone with Marcax, and he's been on the phone with their warranty company, right, at length, and this is a car that had been to Marcax multiple times, right? Goes down there, and they're like, oh man, this car we sold you 500 miles ago, all we had to do was clear the codes. It's great. It's not a problem. It's fine. It's completely fine. And so what happened is the transmission was trashed, right? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Transmission was trashed, and it's got a massive engine oil leak. Okay. And there's no way they didn't know, because like the whole underside of the car is covered in oil. They literally deliver it back to the client. They unload it off the tow truck. The client starts it and it won't move out of the driveway, right? They're like, we cleared the codes. It's fine. So it gets towed to us. Okay. Car comes in. Eric verifies, hey, listen, we've had a transmission failure. We could probably put a mechatronic unit in it, but as much metal is in the unit, it's only a matter of time, right? Yeah. It's out. We don't need to do that. And by the way, you've got this massive oil leak. And so we call the warranty company, and man, I'm going to tell you what, we've completely quit dealing with warranty companies, but these are older clients, and we felt like it was important to serve them and take care of them, right? Shannon calls them, and like before he even got all of the total out, they said, you're approved. And Shannon said, what? Didn't ask for part numbers, didn't ask for anything. They just said, you're approved. Said, now we can't pay all of that, but you're approved up to this amount. And Shannon said, something's wrong. And I said, what do you mean something's wrong? He said, I've never had them say yes, like instantly. And so then we begin to find out this car's had a history, and it's been to multiple Marcaxes. And it's been like all over the place. They're working on this car constantly. And the main person at that particular branch calls and says, just absolutely lights Shannon up. You're going to do this for less. You're ripping the client off. You're doing this. You're doing that. Just ripping him a new one. And Shannon stood up to him and just absolutely would not let him push back. Yeah. Wouldn't take any flack from him whatsoever. And I told Shannon, he's on the phone. I said, listen, you need to explain to him that it's us warranting this unit, not them. So if this fails in the future, it's on us. It's not on them. And we're going to make sure there's enough profit in it to take care of the client. That is our purpose, not to serve you or make it cheap for you. Yeah. A few minutes later, the client calls and says, I don't know what you said to him, but they called back and said, just fix everything on the car that we want fixed. And CarMax called back. Marcax called back. Corporate calls back and says, whatever you need, we're giving you authorization. Here you go. Here's your number.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what we said. We're wondering if we're actually going to get paid.
Yeah.
You actually going to pay us?
You got to be careful with that. I've had two cars come in with, looks like accident damage. We fixed, they approve. We quote it out, they approve. They click the approve button.
Yeah.
We order parts, expensive parts.
Right.
We get the car done. We call them, hey, come pick up your car. Hey, did my insurance company call? Who? No. This was between you and me. And you owe me $3,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, insurance is paying for this.
No, that's not how this works.
Okay.
If insurance is paying for it, right? We typically do not do insurance company work. If we're going to do insurance company work, we make it very clear to the client, and we make it very clear to the insurance company. We don't deal directly
that's
with
all.
you.
That's all fine if they tell you up front.
Oh no, but at
If
that
they
point,
don't
that
tell you
agreement
up
is
front,
100% between you and them.
And so the guy calls and he's like, yeah, they're going to send me the money, direct deposit, this, that, and the other.
Right.
Okay, great. I'll be there to pick it up tomorrow. Customer doesn't show. Instead, we get a call from the insurance company and they're like, hey, this accident damage, it needs a tie rod end assembly. Okay. What about all this other work?
Right.
Was it accident related? And he's like, and Juan's like, I don't know what got damaged in the accident. We didn't know about any accident. We just quoted out the broken parts.
Right.
And they're like, okay, that's great. But what about this other part and this thing and that thing? And he's like, we don't know about any accident.
Listen,
and he's
bro.
like, he doesn't want to lie because that's the thing at our shop. Like, don't lie. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. He's already approved.
Hey,
the work's already
I
done.
know what to tell
Somebody
you.
just come pick up this car and give me some $3,000.
I know what to tell you. My name's Paul, and that's between y'all, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's
a good
the
one.
extent of this.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do with this. This is what the client approved. This is what you're going to pay for to, And
Oh, I don't care what the insurance company pays. But if that dude wants his truck back, otherwise I would be the proud owner of this truck.
Here's the problem, because what always happens with that, think about this for a minute. What is it that turns into? You know what it turns into.
Oh yeah, the insurance company is going to say they're screwing you over on the prices.
They
the
always come. No. Once you're agreed upon a price, you're agreed upon a price. If you have to go to court, you have to go to court. But once you're agreed upon a price, you're agreed upon a price. The insurance company can't make you price anything any certain way, right? I had this great conversation. There's this guy named Amish Patel, and he's a body shop owner, Midwest Auto Body in Illinois, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, I spend 8 hours a day on every single invoice, going over, making sure the documentation's in order, and forcing the insurance company to pay what I've asked them to pay, right? 8 hours a day to make them pay. And he said, I'm only a DRP for I think he said it was State Farm. That's the only one that he was a direct facility for, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, I want to point out that it doesn't matter, I guess, unless you've got an agreement that says I'm a DRP or direct repair provider or whatever it is. Unless you have that agreement, they can't say anything to you about what you're charging. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't want that freaking agreement. You can send that car wherever you want. I'm going to charge what I need to charge to take care of my client, to take care of my people. I could care less about what the insurance company says is fair because they don't care what's fair. That book, Good Hands to Boxing Gloves, man, that's crazy, right? Like, if you go read it, you really quickly understand that their motivation is not to help you, the consumer. It's not to help the person fixing your problem. Go watch have you ever watched any of the TikToks or the videos where there is a guy who is analyzing a roof for storm damage?
Oh, yeah, I've got that one. Yeah.
Dude. Hey, pull it up and watch it. I'm serious. Like, it's crazy because it's the same thing we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
You remember the Mazda that we went through a while back? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, we went through that Mazda. And they say, you didn't do your due diligence and make sure that was all that was wrong with that car. Yeah. And we don't think what you repaired originally was the problem. Your adjuster came and looked at it. And every single person we said that to on the phone went completely silent. To the point 2 of them hung up on us because they didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Your adjuster came and looked at this car, and we talked to them and talked to you. They said, well, we've got it on recorded line. I said, that's great. We've got a recorded line too. We all agreed that there was no way for us to know if there was anything else going on. We had to fix this first because the timing chains were so loose you could pull them off. Right? Could we have just put a motor in it? Sure. You didn't want to do that. What do you want me to do with that?
Yeah. After the fact, they're like, well, should have put an engine in this thing.
Exactly. But they will never admit that to a client.
Never.
Dude, I am telling you, as an industry, we need to stop taking aftermarket warranties. We need to stop.
It's a good source of customers.
No, it's not. It is absolutely not. You're full of it.
I'm great.
You are full of it. I've heard this mess about CarMax and Repair Pal and all this that you talk, but I'm also the one who has to deal with all of the complaints and listen to you whine and cry and bitch and moan about all of the BS they give you. And I just don't think that you connect the dots.
I think it's 1 out of 10 where it turns into hassle.
Dude, if that's 1 out of 10, you must work on thousands of cars because I hear about it 2 times a day.
I just like to complain. We've talked about this.
I understand, but my God.
Okay.